Aloha, I'm Lilia.
And I'm Jocelyn.
And we're ʻāina Finda.
We are a big data company
That leverages technology to responsibly share indigenous knowledge that fosters meaningful interaction and reconnection of people to place.
We do this through a phone application that uses artificial intelligence to innovatively teach Hawaiian language, cultural foundations, and history of places.
Today, majority of the population in Hawaii is either unaware of their participation in, the existence of, or the impacts of settler colonialism and the erasure of Native histories, language, and sites. Moreover, websites and apps today are created predominantly for the tourism industry and not necessarily for indigenous communities, which continue to disseminate and dominate the colonial narrative of Hawaii. The results of this erasure are impacted sites that are difficult to maintain and manage.
We know that knowledge is power, so we target these impacted sites for intervention by providing free education through our app. In exchange for this knowledge, we collect, analyze, and supply data to public and private land managers.
So how does it work? Users will take a photo or bust out their phone, take a photo. The image recognition software recognizes everything that it sees in the photo and identifies the objects and translates the words from English to Hawaiian. Users can then click on each word to take a deeper dive. The words provide you with either general knowledge or specific knowledge based on your location services. We do this for two reasons. One, because we know that knowledge is specific to place. And number two, words have both literal and metaphoric meanings and different components that constitute them.
Big five companies like Google and Amazon track your behaviors to target ads to you. We use this same model. However, the metadata that we collect helps land managers understand the impact to these places. Our user is our community, and our customers are state and private land managers.
I have my master's in Hawaiian studies, and I'm a cultural resource specialist. I've worked for some of Hawaii's largest public and private landowners, and I have a deep understanding of Hawaii's impacted places and pain points that land managers are currently facing. We understand that there are many impacted features in Hawaii, so for the next year, we'll be focusing on just trails, but we have the potential to expand to other features.
And because I currently work as a DevOps engineer in the healthcare industry, providing infrastructure automation solutions to big data problems, I know that we can build repeatable and scalable code. By just changing a few variables, we will be able to add features quickly and efficiently.
In the last 6 months, we've shared our idea with UH Manoa, Summit Media Corporation, Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce, Bite Marks Cafe, and Hawaii Tourism Authority. We know that there's mass interest in our product and plan to form strategic partnerships to gain users for this free application and begin to aggregate data.
We also know from our market analysis that there's a compound annual growth rate of 38% in regards to the use of artificial intelligence in educational applications. And organizations like Kali'u Kapa'akai Collective have expressed the need for this type of data collection. While the app is free, we collect data to sustain ourselves and offer big data solutions to land managers. Our plan is to offer tiered packages to provide data as a service, which would be raw data with no analysis, information as a service, where we would provide some analysis, and answers as a service, where we would provide analysis with solutions. Our plan is to upsell customers through this revenue pipeline. We are seeking an initial investment of $100,000 to excel the creation of our free community app so we can begin to collect this data that will be marketed towards our target customers.
So to recap, we're a big data company that provides free education through artificial intelligence. Our content helps to normalize Hawaiian language and Hawaiian culture. We reconnect people to place and focus our efforts on impacted places. We provide data to land managers, and we have the potential to scale. But most importantly, we're creating this app because of our aloha for our home, and we have an understanding that we have a kuleana to Hawaii to leave it better than we found it for future generations of Hawaii. And could you imagine the world if there was an ʻāina Finda in every community? And with that, we want to say mahalo nui loa. Thank you so much for having us, and we'll open up for questions.
Mahalo nui.
Great job, ladies. My question is just wanting to learn more about you and your team, since there's the artificial intelligence aspect and there's also the development aspect. What resources do you currently have on the team, and kind of what resources do you need to add?
So right now, I currently work as a DevOps engineer, so I do infrastructure automation. So everything that we're building on our back end is parameterized and templatized. So with the click of a few parameters, we can spin up any feature that we're going to be adding. And I also do front-end development, so I have already built our prototype and developed our next set of UI prototypes. And then Lilia is responsible for all of our cultural needs.
So I do all the research for us, and yeah, I basically help strategize how we're going to expand.
And so for our future needs, we would probably need a data analyst, and for immediate needs, we would be hiring out some freelancers just to kind of speed up the process. But currently, we see us doing it together, just the two of us, in about a year. But if we had more resources, we could shorten that down to 4 to 6 months.
So I love the concept, and I think I understand the business model in terms of who you're providing this to, but who you're ultimately selling it to. But what I don't quite understand is what's the value proposition for the land managers who are ultimately going to pay for this service? Like, what is it specifically that they will get out of this, and how do you price that?
Okay, so we've looked at basic salaries for someone that would be doing this type of data management for private nonprofits, all that kind of stuff, state entities, private landowners, and they can't really find anyone with the skills, and it's really hard to manage this amount of data, and they don't really have a way to track everything. And organically, just by using our app in these locations, we'll be able to grab this kind of data. So we see our initial offering being that data as a service with no analysis at $55,000 a year, which would be the salary as if they hired one person. And we're going to sell those in 3-month subscription models, which are about $13,750 a subscription.
Sorry, what is this data, like specifically? What are those variables that people are buying?
So the times that people are at these sites, so we're going to be focusing on trails. So the amount of people that are visiting these trails actively on a daily basis, the times that they're there, because we use photo recognition, we're going to see the metadata that comes in the images. So that's we can track through machine learning kind of the way that you can see the different features on the land. We also have a sign-up page, so we'll have demographic information, the types of people that are coming here. So we noticed that when you get to Hawaii, you have to fill out that survey form, the visitor information, and then after that, you kind of don't know what people are doing while they're here. So it's all of that little pieces of information that see where you're going through the entire day.
So basically, we're just understanding people.
Have you guys interviewed land managers and people that would be signing those contracts and paying it to see what their data needs are?
Yeah, so one of the processes when we were going through this is we were trying to figure out like what kind of feature we wanted to focus on first, because there are so many features in Hawaii, and so we realized that we wanted to kind of tackle both community and other people, and so we figured that trails was a good way to start off by looking specifically at just trails. And so when I was doing the research, we understand that people like the Na'alehele program, they have a very difficult time to keep up with the demands of people that are coming to these trails and to be able to track it. There's one manager and there's not enough of them to be at all these places at once. So we can provide them with certain data that they need for their needs.
I mean, I love the fact that you guys have complementary skill sets, and I clearly hear the need and understand the need to like change the dialogue and the narrative around how people view these sites and understand the cultural background behind that. I think where I'm trying to tease out more information, and probably same as Jason, is like there's a lot of data that can be collected from our phones and from this, but connecting that to figuring out how to remediate the impact and the damage that's being done to these sites by these masses of people coming, understanding exactly like how that data threads through that problem-solving system that the managers have to do to lower the impact on these sites. And I think that's kind of where we're trying to tease out more information.
I think we don't have a definite answer for that right now because we haven't collected the data. And I think that numbers don't lie. So as we start to aggregate all of this information, we'll be able to sort it out, and our paths to the way to maintain these sites will become clear.
Right. Okay.
Mahalo nui. We are at 5 minutes. Mahalo.